There is an island on Earth that remains one of the last truly forbidden places, not because it is hidden or impossible to find, but because stepping onto its shores could cost you your life within minutes. This is North Sentinel Island, a remote piece of land in the Indian Ocean that has resisted the outside world for thousands of years and continues to do so even today. At first glance, it does not look unusual. From above, it appears like any other tropical island: dense green forests, white sandy beaches, and calm blue waters surrounding it. There are no visible signs of danger. No fences, no warning signs, no structures that suggest anything extraordinary. But that peaceful appearance hides something very different. Something that has made this island one of the most dangerous places on Earth to approach. North Sentinel Island is home to the Sentinelese, one of the last uncontacted tribes in the world. Unlike most human societies, they have had almost no interaction with modern civilization, and more importantly, they have shown no desire to change that. For them, isolation is not an accident. It is a choice that has been enforced and protected for generations. What makes this situation so unusual is that the Sentinelese are not completely unaware of the outside world. Over the years, they have seen boats approaching their shores, helicopters flying overhead, and distant signs of modern technology. Yet every time contact is attempted, their response is immediate and unmistakable. They do not observe, they do not hesitate, they attack. This reaction is not random. It is not simply fear or misunderstanding. It is a consistent and deliberate pattern that has defined the island for decades. Arrows are fired from the beaches. Spears are raised as warnings. And anyone who ignores those warnings quickly realizes that this is not a place where negotiation is possible. There have been several attempts throughout history to make peaceful contact with the Sentinelese. Anthropologists and researchers once believed that, with careful planning and patience, communication might be possible. In some cases, they even tried leaving gifts: coconuts, tools, and other items, hoping to build trust. For a brief moment, it seemed like progress might be happening. But those moments never lasted. Eventually, every attempt ended the same way: rejection. The Sentinelese would return to hostility, reinforcing the same message they had always given. They did not want interaction. They did not want help. And they certainly did not want to become part of the outside world. The danger of approaching the island is not theoretical. It has been proven multiple times. In 2006, two fishermen accidentally drifted too close after their boat lost power. They were not explorers, and they were not trying to make contact. But that did not matter. Their bodies were later seen on the shore, a clear indication of what happens when the boundary is crossed. More recently, in 2018, an outsider intentionally attempted to reach the island. He believed he could communicate, that he could connect with the Sentinelese, despite their history of resistance. But within a very short time after landing, he was killed. The outcome was immediate, and it reinforced what the world already knew. This island does not allow entry under any circumstances. However, the story of North Sentinel Island is not only about danger, it is also about survival. One of the biggest reasons the island remains protected today is the extreme vulnerability of its inhabitants. The Sentinelese have lived in isolation for so long that they have no immunity to modern diseases. Even a minor illness, something as common as a cold or flu, could spread rapidly and have devastating consequences for the entire population. Because of this, the Indian government has established strict laws to prevent anyone from approaching the island. A large exclusion zone surrounds it, and entering that zone is illegal. This is not just to protect outsiders from harm, but to protect the Sentinelese themselves from exposure to a world that could unintentionally destroy them. What makes this situation even more fascinating is how it challenges our understanding of progress. In most parts of the world, development and connection are seen as positive and inevitable. Technology spreads, cultures interact, and societies evolve together. But North Sentinel Island stands as an exception to that pattern. Here is a group of people who have seen glimpses of the outside world and have made a conscious decision to reject it completely. They have chosen to remain independent, to live according to their own traditions, and to maintain a way of life that has existed for thousands of years. This raises an uncomfortable question. Is isolation always a disadvantage, or is it, in some cases, a form of control? The Sentinelese have something that is increasingly rare. In the modern world, complete autonomy. They are not influenced by global trends, not dependent on external systems, and not connected to the constant flow of information that defines modern life. At the same time, their existence highlights how little we still understand about certain parts of our own planet. Despite advanced technology, satellites, and global exploration, there are still places where human presence is limited, restricted, or entirely absent. Standing at a distance, looking toward North Sentinel Island, it would be easy to underestimate it. The ocean appears calm, the shoreline looks inviting, the forest seems quiet and still. But that image is misleading because the true nature of the island is not visible from the outside. The real boundary is not physical. It is cultural, biological, and deeply human. It is a boundary defined by the choice to remain separate and by the determination to defend that separation at any cost. North Sentinel Island is not just a forbidden place. It is a reminder that even in a world where almost everything has been explored, mapped, and connected, there are still places that exist outside of that system. Places that do not follow the same rules. Places that do not welcome curiosity. And places that prove that, even today, there are limits to how far human reach can extend. Because sometimes the most mysterious places on Earth are not the ones we cannot find. They are the ones that do not want to be found.